What is going on, guys? It's KOJOFOREX, aka GBP Emperor, aka Emperor of Blues. I'm back again on your screen. Today I'm going to teach you guys about how to catch trade breakouts like a boss on the market, right? So you guys know me, I've been always talking about sniper entry, catching the market from the very top or the very bottom. I hardly ever talk about any other type of concept or any other type of strategy or any other type of entry. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't always sometimes trade some of these breakouts or some of these scalping trades or day trades, right? But normally I'm mostly consistent with my sniper entries. That's why I hardly ever talk about it. And also I have the fiduciary responsibility of teaching you guys how to be so good at the sniper entry that I've been teaching you before I introduce any other thing to you. That's why sometimes I lessen my too much involvement in teaching you other concepts like scalping, day trading, and then focus more on the sniper entry, swing trading, so that when you are good at that, then we can also go on learning other stuff. But since we cannot attest to the fact that for a long time now I've been teaching you this concept and all of you are almost always good at it, then it's about time we also start delving into other perspective in the market, and that brings us to understanding some of the breakout entries that have been taken on the market, right? So last week I took some brilliant breakout trades, right, which is GBPCAD and then GBPUSD, which was amazing. They made huge peak movement, and then it kind of got even my mentees in my KOJOFOREX Go Strategy course confused. They're wondering, Kojo, how come you're able to come up with a trade like this? Because like we hardly ever take a trade like this. Like, you know what, don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you. So it was actually a midweek, about Wednesday thereabout. Like, you know, normally we'll do our trading sessions on Sunday where we'll do a meetup like today. Me shooting these videos on Sunday, like normally we're going to meet at 8 p.m. and then I'm going to be like breaking the chart down, talking about all the trades that I took for them, and then like any other thing that we'll be looking for the next week, right? So if you want to join a closed cycle like this, click in the link in the description to purchase the Go Strategy in the first place. So what that is that, as unusual as it may be, on Wednesday that I called a quick meeting. I'm like, guys, I'm going to break down this entry for you. So quick meeting on Wednesday, I called all of them onto the Zoom platform, and then I broke down, and I felt like I should perhaps share that knowledge with you guys as well. So that's why we're here today. What is here to the end, and after that you're going to really understand how to catch that succinct entry and make insane, impeccable profit on the market like that. So yeah, watch this video today and let's go right into the video. I'll show you guys what I have for you. So guys, here we are. I already told you that I'm going to be telling you about how I took that breakout entry, and then at the same time teach you about the breakout entry on the market, so that you guys can also take advantage of it and make money for yourself as well, right? So last week, like I said, we took a trade on GBPUSD and GBPCAD, and then it was not our usual type of entry where people would be expecting that we're going to catch the market at the very top or catch the market at the very bottom, right? So I'm going to give you like a close perspective of what really transpired on this market and how I was able to catch such a beautiful trade. I'll show you evidence of the trade, I'll show you screenshots, and I'll show you how and when I dropped it in the VIP group and then on the Telegram groups as well for my community members to take it. So if you're not part of the community members, click in the link in the description to join the KOJOFOREX Telegram community. Amazing community of traders, currently about 84,000 traders globally, right? So looking at GBPUSD, this is how I started. Normally I tell you guys that when you see the vertical lines on my chart, it kind of tells you exactly when the market began. So the market actually began trading here, right? And then normally, like I've always taught you, you're gonna want to expect that the market is coming back to this resistance region. We're trying to see what is going to happen here, right? So when the start of the week, I was supposed to be, I've been watching this market and perhaps look at how market was going to react around those entry. I did watch, but it didn't really act on a basis where I could have easily caught a beautiful trade entry. So let's see what happens. There was a huge drop which kind of made me miss the whole move. You can see like some few pips of movement here and some candle drop here. Nothing really, you know, happening around here that would have convinced me that okay, the bears are coming into the market. So I was like waiting, perhaps maybe this market was gonna, you know, push back up a little bit like this before maybe coming down like that, right? So upon that wait, let's see what transpired. Then we had this huge candle drop. So this huge candle drop kind of turned me off. I'm like, okay, I might as well perhaps missed this GBPUSD move. So I might as well look for trade entry in another setup, right? Nonetheless, the next candle totally blew me off. It surprised me. The next candle kind of changed my perspective altogether. So this was what transpired in the next candle. A huge candle that blew up onto the upside. So a huge candle like this, I'm like, are we coming back to the resistance? And then perhaps start to really show that bearish reversal patterns that we're looking for before the true bearish drop or bearish continuation is going to resume, or what exactly is this market trying to do? So all I got to do is just wait for that reaction around that range to see indeed what the market wanted to actually do. So, you know, I always tell you guys that in trading, you got to be like very patient. You're not rushing the system. You're always trying to like let the market tell you what it wants to do before you react to it. You don't always want to be like proactive on the market. Most times you want to be reactive, right? You want to wait, let the market do what it wants to do before you come up reacting to what you're seeing, right? So I was now waiting and then seeing what the market was going to do around here. So waited and all through the night, and then it was almost early morning, woke up and saw this candle break out around these regions. So I'm like, wow, look at this. We literally have a candle trading above our resistance range like that. What is going to happen? Is it a fake out just to deceive people as if the market is going to break out above and then literally just trap us back in, or what is actually going on? So I'm like, I might as well not fall for this one. Let me wait for the next closure. Then I'm going to see if I'm going to be convinced or not, right? Then we had this one happen for the next closure. Basically, another candle independently closing above the range. Then this was where I got so intrigued to pull the trigger. So looking at the fact that the risk exposure was very small, because if you try entering the trade here, all you got to do is like put your stop loss below the previous candle that broke out here, which is this very candle right here, right? You guys can see it. This very candle right here. So this very candle right here, stop loss below it, that's just about 30 pips. 30 pips is not so crazy to risk on the market. So this was exactly where my entry was, my stop loss right there like that, and then my take profit was just around the mid ranges, looking at catching at least 100 pips on this market, right? Lo and behold, I was totally surprised by how this market reacted. It kind of blew past my take profit region and then went further. Normally I'm that type that will normally leave my take profit open, being that I'm a swing trader and I understand how far the market can go. But for this particular trade, I actually set my take profit because I'm not really a fan of a breakout, and I felt like I limited the further movement of the market on this occasion, right? So look at what happened here, guys. Look at how GBP just kept climbing and literally blew past my take profit region and went further up like that, right? So if I held this trade, I would have made at least about 300 pips, which would have taken my trade risk reward to about 1:10. So if you're risking 2%, that's 2:20%. Incredible, right? But nonetheless, I did catch about 1:4 risk reward, which was still amazing, right? Which is like 2:8%, right? Incredible gains right there, right? So this is basically the perspective that I used to catch this simple trade that I wanted to bring to you. So I hope you guys have really learned something amazing from this one. Then there's another one, which is the GBPCAD. I told you about it as well. Yeah, so guys, let's look at that of GBPCAD, right? So GBPCAD also, the market literally started around here. I always tell you that that vertical line always point out where the market started trading from, right? So GBPCAD, we had this resistance outlook in here, right? And then we already realized that previous week the market traded above that resistance, and then what happens further on, we had like the market, new market open, then we had like this big candle drop here, right? Couldn't take advantage of this sell. So I was thinking, is this like a break and retest, right? So we're currently focusing on a breakout trade, but nonetheless, I was also thinking about is that would this probably be like a breakout of the range, retested, right? So this is how I'm thinking of it, like, right? Like breakout of this range like this, retest it, and then perhaps like push back up like that. But I'm not normally so conversant with taking trades on break retest. I don't really like that about trade setup, but nonetheless, I was thinking about the market in that way. Lo and behold, we also had this huge bullish push on it like that. And when we had this bullish push, then I kind of started to see how market was going to react around this range here, because we had already printed some significant drop from that range, which is like this wick here, right? More people call it liquidity zone or something like that. So I'm looking at this level and see how the market was going to react. And that was also the same moment where the pound USD was also reacting in that other zone. So I'm like, we might as well keep our eyes on those two zones, right? And if you watch this, right, it also did trade above it a little bit with another candle, then above it a little bit with another candle. Then I was convinced to think GBPCAD would also perhaps push up the same way GBPUSD is also doing. Then it was also not quite risky to just, you know, take position on this bit, knowing that we're just risking about 30 pips on this one, right? So 30 pips for 100 pips, 30 pips for 150 pips, incredible risk to reward. And then look at how it played out. It also just, you know, rallied all the way up like that, right? Nonetheless, I didn't hold this trade all the way up that like that. I did actually close it just around here where the first week came, and then it did continue like that. GBPCAD was not the smooth moving pair for that week in particular, right? So we did close out just around here. The last week here was about 70 pips, and then it kind of dropped all the way back down and then further went far ahead like that. But I'm just trying to show you the perspective in which you can use to trade breakout as well. Very simple concept like that. Then the last one, which I didn't trade as well, but I find it interesting to show you with the same concept of the breakout, is if you watch what happened with USD Swiss franc, right? So if you look at USD Swiss franc, this is what I can show you from the USD Swiss franc position, right? Look at this. This was how the market started trading on USD Swiss franc the whole of last week. So this is it. So if you look at this, the most immediate low that I'll be looking at on this market is this very one right here, right? So since this market had like already traded lower like this, and they were expecting that what is going to happen, then it could potentially just come approaching this zone, right? So normally for you to have already been very curious about this market, you could have used like a chart pattern, looking at this perspective like this range, right? You can see like more like a triangular pattern like that, and then you can use that to capitalize on the drop there. But since we didn't catch that, then we'll be expecting to see how far the market is willing to go. Maybe it's trying to come to this support level right here, and then maybe make a move on the upside, right? So sometimes people will be interested in catching the market even mid-range like that, but I consider that a very risky type of entry. But some people are a fan of it, and at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing and you feel like you're confident in that trade setup and it's going to work for you, sometimes I don't like to limit people's perspective on what they want to do or how creative they want to be on the market, right? But I wouldn't normally go for a trade like that. But if you watch this, we can also see that what it did also drop heavily when the week began, and then came straight into that support level right there. So coming to that support level, you know what we do, we become anxious and expectant to see how the market is going to react in that zone, especially with the candlestick confirmation, right? Then that's where you're going to see this initial bullish candle right here, which is going to be intriguing and convincing, thinking that okay, maybe the market wants to make so much reactionary movement around there, so we might as well be prepared to take a long trade, right? Then comes this one here. So this one here, breaking that range, dropping below, can be a good signal for you to take this trade for a continuation on the downside, which is like putting your stop loss right below that candle, which is just about 40 pips as well, and then expecting that how far can this market go. If you look here, you can see that there's not much immediate low, right? So you'd have to probably go into the weekly, into the monthly, and then have a good perspective of how low this market can go, right? If you do that, you're gonna obviously see that what we have room here as far as this level for this market to go. So on a monthly, it's quite huge how far the market can go, right? Then you can come back to what the 4 hour to look at how far you're expecting this market to go. Now I used this level because I was targeting the most immediate low from here. Right now you can see that what the most immediate low is this one right here. That's why I'm expecting that on this monthly, then the market can come as far as this. Then I switch back onto the 4 hour because that's where we're trying to take our entry. Right now, look at how USD Swiss franc also did play out. Right from there on, the market just kept dripping and dripping. You can see that what is continuously dropping, right? So this is like a simple concept that you can use to catch trade entry on a continuation like this and make a quick day trade, or perhaps even a swing trade. Not the most beautiful consistent type of entry that I've been taking, nonetheless it still does pay. So this is what I want to teach you guys today. I hope you guys really loved it, and then if you did love it, you know what to do. Click in the link in the description to join the KOJOFOREX Telegram community, and then follow me on all social media at KOJOFOREX. I already also told you that we have a private group where we trade together and discuss the market, but before you can join a private group, you have to click in the link in the description to purchase the KOJOFOREX Go strategy, the #1 strategy that is going to change your life in trading for real. Also, I've done a little bit of a video on my BitStore. So my BitStore is normally that Bitcoin app that I use to withdraw my profit from the market. So if you want to look into that as well, click in the link in the description to download the my BitStore app and then use it as well. It works globally, right? Subscribe to this channel and smash the like button if you haven't done that. I'm going to come to your way again with another amazing video like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.